Trigger warning. What's up, nerds? It's your boy. It's 8:41 in the morning on this, the 18th day of November 2023. The holiday rush has begun. A week from now is Thanksgiving, so you better start doing your cooking if you haven't yet. And it is I, your editor-in-chief, the OGGM, and look what Wizards of the Coast has gone and done in their ever benevolent, omnipresent inclusiveness. Once again, they have done our thinking for us to keep us safe, and we now have a complete list of all the changes that are going to be in the new 2024 Player's Handbook DM's Guide in regards to inclusivity, diversity, and language. Remember, this is the same company that earlier this year said people like me can't leave the hobby fast enough because there's just no more room for, asexual Jewish disabled men or white people, as Kyle Blank called us. So we've known for a while that Wizards is going to be changing the words to be more inclusive, removing words like evil and replacing them with just, he had a bad day, or what other things. We've been a little curious as to what these words were and how they're going to make us more inclusive. Now, this is an editorial. Remembered, editorial. This is just my opinion alone. So take of this what you will. If you do not like listening to somebody badmouth Wizards of the Coast, or if you feel that these choices are good choices, or if you disagree with my outcome, that's fine. You're welcome to your opinions. If you feel you're going to be insulted or harmed or triggered in any way by me looking at these and most likely being sarcastic and insulting about them, you probably should start watching now and move on to another channel that is more in tune with your way of thinking. Because I think it's safe to say I'm probably not going to agree with a lot of these. So I'll give you a second to decide whether this is something you want to listen to or not. Ba-da-da-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-da-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Plus 5 experience points if anybody knows where that song is from. Okay, we have an overview, and then we have a very in-depth look at the word changes. And I brought up dictionary.com because we know I am not the smartest slice of bread in the sandwich. So we will double check to make sure Wizards of the Coast usage of the words are exactly the way they were supposed to be used. Because to quote a famous movie, sometimes I think those words don't mean what you think they mean, Wizards of the Coast. Now let us just place the blanket of objectivity over this and remind anyone that it has been proved beyond a shadow of a doubt from multiple sources worldwide that at no point in time has Dungeons & Dragons ever been racist. At no point in time has inclusively not existed. At no point in time in the 50-year history of the tabletop role-playing game industry, over the millions of people who've played over the 50 years all across the world and in space, is there any actual documented truth of any of the accusations that have been made about people like us or D&D before today? I didn't feel welcome in D&D or any other game for the past 50 years, but now I do. So here's an overview from our friends at EN World. Savage has been changed to brutal, merciless, or ruthless. So if you found the word savage to be offensive, it has now been changed to brutal, merciless, or ruthless. All right, so we'll just start right there. Brutal. Is brutal a better word than savage? So I've got dictionary.com right here, and we're just going to look up brutal, savage, cruel, and human. So would you rather be the savage Hulk, the savage Wolverine, the savage Conan, a savage who defends his family with savage strength and fury, or would you rather be cruel and inhuman? I don't know. I think we're just going to go with that one. Now moving on to barbarian has been changed to invading hordes. Invading hordes. Because invading hordes sounds much better than barbarian. Barbarian, of course, being, from the point of view of the heathen barbarians when the Holy Roman Empire or anybody else moved into an area and they encountered the people who lived in that area, if those people did not behave in the same way that the Holy Roman Empire or the Germans or the Gauls or the Vikings behaved, they were perceived as barbarian. You do things different than me. You have not accepted our Lord and Savior. Whatever. You are barbarians. Okay, so barbarian is a definition or a culture. It's not a class. It's not a race. It's not a species. It is a term to use to, we don't know what you are. You're barbarians because you don't do what we do. I could see how maybe that might be offensive. Therefore, referring to somebody as what class are you? Invading horde. Invading horde. Because yes, there's nothing horrific historically associated with the term invading horde. References to civilized people and places are removed. At last, civilization. Oh, you can't use the word civilization. It's offensive. At last, place with buildings. All right, that was just dumb. Madness or insanity has removed or changed to other words like chaos. Oh, that mass Hannibal Lecter is insane. He's not insane. He's just chaotic. Usage of orcs as evil foes changed to other work as raiders. So instead of orc, they're orc raiders. All right, let's just make sure you have that definition correct here. Raider, and I don't think they mean the football team. Oh, okay. There's no definition for raiders. Let's try raider. A commando ranger are likely special trained to participate in military aids. A person or thing that raids. Raids. A sudden assault or attack upon something to be seized or suppressed. Military, a sudden attack on the enemy by air or by small land forces. To make a raid on, to steal from, to engage in. Yes, you are right. This is a much better and less offensive term than orc or orc raider. So instead of evil orcs, they're orc raiders. Because if we say they're evil orcs, well, we know orcs are no longer inherently evil because Wizards of the Coast feels there's no such thing as inherently evil in the world. Instead, they're just orcs are raiding, which is equally as bad, right? But they're not savage or barbarian orcs, so they're just orcs who are showing up to take all your stuff and burn your town down. But that's not evil. Terms like dim-witted or other synonyms of low intelligence races with words like incurious. Okay, let's just look up incurious, see what that means. There is no definition for incurious. Wizards of the Coast invented a word. So I think what they're trying to say is an exchange of dim-witted or low intelligence. They're just lack curiosity, the inability to learn things at the same rate us superior people learn with. Now, again, dim-witted is just, I guess it's kind of insulting, Sure, I'll give them that dim-witted could be insulted and that they remove the term dim-witted from, I guess, gully dwarves. To replace it with incurious, which, according to the dictionary, is not a word. But we'll just double check to be sure. A person not eager to know something, lacking curiosity. So unremoved, unresponsive, unenthusiastic, detached, nonchalant. So instead of being dumb, you just don't want to learn. He's not dumb. He just doesn't want to learn. He's lazy. He lacks curiosity. That's so much better. That's so much better. Hi, Ironcaster. I feel less insulted by being told that I just lack curiosity and don't want to learn new things. Moving on. Language alterations surrounding gender. He, she, have all been replaced with they, them, or whatever, or just use your own pronoun. Okay. Fat has removed or changed to big. I'm not fat. I'm big boned. He's not overweight. He's big. It's still insulting. Slavery has been reduced, altered. Use of dark when referring to evil has been changed to vile or dangerous. Ah, your dark thoughts. He's dark. Instead, now he's vile. Wretchedly bad, highly offensive, unpleasant, or objectionable. That's not better. That's not better. And we have a complete list. Those are just some of the ones that this guy found. There's a complete list on Alphastreams. Savage has been changed to brutal or merciless, ruthless or bandits. Yes, because merciless is so much better than savage. Merciless. Barbarian has been changed to invading. MM. In the muster manual, civilized has just been changed to friendly. Savage and brutal or almost uniformly evil has been changed to just they're against friendly people. The example here is they're against the idea of civilization, but since we're not using the word civilization anymore, I guess what they really mean to say that you're no longer a savage and brutal invader, you're just somebody who doesn't like friendly people. Civilized has also been changed to settled, because settlers coming in and changing the land is so much less offensive than people coming in and civilizing the land. Civilization came in. No, it didn't. We don't have civilization. We never invented, glass windows or copper tubes or soap. We were settled. I'm pretty sure that if you ask the indigenous people of the United States of America, they would not refer to being settled or when the settlers coming in being as any way, shape, or form better than being told they were being civilized. They would tell you, well, actually, we were pretty civilized before you white people got here and settled on our land and forced us to change our civilized lifestyle to embrace your lifestyle. We had toilet paper and running water while you guys still had, and medicine and stitching and early brain surgery, and you guys were still wiping your ass with leaves. But yes, you had to settle us because we were not civilized. It's not better, Wizards of the Coast. Again, not better. Barbarian is now invading. Adventurers not heading back to civilization anymore. They're heading back to their home base. Primitive is now just fierce. How civilize set them apart from animals. They're now just settled. Connection to civilized land is now another land. Civilization is responding to evil foes is now monstrous walls. Beyond the walls of civilization is now beyond the walls into an unsettled land. Civilization responding to terrorists is now people are trying to protect themselves from terrorists. It goes on and on and on. Madness and crazy is gone. Instead, it's just you're overwhelmingly chaotic. Delirium has also replaced insanity. Villainous has replaced crazy. Foolhardy has also replaced crazy. Overcome has replaced insane. Mad Woman is now soothsayer. Oh my God, it just goes on and on and on. Breeding has been training to recruiting and training. Lesser has been changed to in racial purity of its kind. Shun has been turned to despise. Dark elves are now Drow, except Drow is being getting rid of. Dim-witted is now incurious, which is not a word. Simple is now unable. Of course, we know about all the gender changes. You're no longer blinded, you're now unaware. So instead of blindness, 10-foot radius, or power word blind, it's power word unaware. Fat is now big. Asian is now just other. Other warriors who adhere to a formal code. Phylactery is now traditionally an amulet in the shape of a small box. Slavery has been replaced with servants. Slave pens are replaced with quarters for the servants. A slave's den has been changed to thieves' guild. Slaves turned to servants. Slavers has been turned into tyrants. These are not better. Dark is now vile or dangerous. This guy's like, I'm glad Wizards of the Coast made these changes because I didn't bother to look any of them up. So thank you, Wizards of the Coast. Thank you for doing our thinking. As other honorable. Yes, I'm sure if we asked Connie Chung or Mackenzie that they would love the idea that they are now being referred to as other honorable people as opposed to Asian. You're not from Asia. You're just honorable. It's not civilization. It's just bunch of friendly. Nope. Here's the link. Right, hold on. Now, obviously, I'm adding my own sarcastic take to them, and I'm paraphrasing. But no, these changes are there. Learning from what Wizards of the Coast inclusively core changes, the changes in the 24 books. Apparently, these changes have been placed for months. If you bothered to go look on D&D Beyond, the images of savagery and civilization are gone because, brutal is better than savage. Merciless is better than savage. Ruthless is better than savage. Ruthless bandits is better than savage orcs. Invading is better than barbarian. Civilized has just been replaced to friends. We didn't come in and civilize you or settle you. We're just friends. We didn't come in and civilize you. We settled. Again, I'm pretty sure the native indigenous Chumash Indians, or Kumish, or however you pronounce it, Indians here in Ventura, California. If I went to the Ventura Museum of Archaeology right next to the Santa Ventura Church and asked the docents there, who are members of the Kumish tribe, if they preferred the term settled to civilized, would they say, oh, yeah, our ancestors were totally uncivilized when you guys showed up and took over our land without asking and kicked us out of it. Thank you so much for settling California, establishing these missions, forcing us to convert to your religion, destroying our homelands, and forcing us to live in houses you built, basically making us servants. Thank you for settling. Yeah, I am totally sure that is what they would say. And the one they don't mention here is tribal. Remember, Wizards of the Coast doesn't use the word tribal or tribe anymore. They use tribal, which is not a word. And I guess you're not dim-witted anymore, or just incurious, you're incurious. Oh, you just don't want to learn new things, dude. It's not that you're not dumb. I mean, you're obviously smart. You just lack curiosity. You're just lazy. You just don't want to learn new things. But I don't want to call you dim-witted because that's insulting. So instead, I'm just calling you, you have no initiative. You just don't want to learn new things. It's not better. Not better. Telling me I'm monstrous is not less insulting than telling me I'm uncivilized. These are not better. They're just sideways changes. All you're doing is replacing one word that somebody pretends that they were insulted by another word that somebody else is going to say they're insulted by. And some of these are even more insulting. Okay, and we're not even going to touch the slavery thing. Now, let me just end this with another slice of bread. Now that we've had the sandwich, we started this with the slice of bread that, hey, so far, without a shadow of a doubt, these claims against the hobby have been disproven by multiple individuals. Now I'm just going to slide that slice of bread in again now that we finished the sandwich. And again, remind you that at no point in time has any of these claims been documented as true or factual. And when in trying to find people who have been playing the game for as long as I have and ask them if they have ever felt the way Wizards of the Coast and people like Connie Chang and Mackenzie want us to think we felt, so far they haven't. All the people who say, well, I never felt comfortable in the hobby until now, are people who've only been playing for like 5 years, 3 years. You know, Mackenzie only started playing in 2018. Connie Chung only started playing in 2018, 2019. Actually, she's only been playing for 3 years. So she's only been playing since 2020. So in 2020, Connie Chung said, I can't find any game that makes me feel welcome. So I'm going to take Wizards of the Coast money and then complain about how they're racist and that there's no game on the planet that has ever made me feel welcome except for 5e. But 5e doesn't make me feel welcome, so I'm going to change it. Same with Daniel Kwan, same with Mackenzie. Now, again, categorically, there's no proof. I've never, in my 40-some-odd years of playing this hobby, have I ever felt this. Never in my 47 years of this hobby have I met anybody else who said this or felt this about the hobby. Hey, playing D&D makes me feel uncomfortable. Oh, saying my character is evil is triggering me, you know, or I'm playing an orc, but I think orcs are... No, never. And I have played, like I said, all over the world, multiple hundreds of people, and I am just one individual. So, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who have played for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of role-playing games. So you would need to go and systematically interview. Well, no, not each individual. You could get control groups, you know. So you go to every city and you say, people of New York, we are looking for 10 people ages 8 through 80 who have played Dungeons and Dragons or any other tabletop role-playing game for longer than a month. And you get 10 of them. And you do that in every city, 10, 20 people. You get a control group, right? And then you pass out the survey to you go to every city in the country, every city in, you know, start with the U.S. probably because that's where Wizards is located. You get these control groups, you invite these people, you feed them, you know, give them Starbucks, and you give them the survey. Or you put the survey online, even easier. You put the survey online. Take our survey, entire planet. Have you, in the 50 years of the hobby, ever felt any of this? I'm going to just guess that the general answer is going to be no. What the fuck are you talking about? Case in point, I played in 5e games with people who actually play 5e. Never once did it come up in a conversation. And I've played 5e since 2014 with at least 300 different people. Never once did any actual 5e player, male, female, or other, ever bring this up and say to me, blank. So let me ask all 7 of you, do you feel better that Wizards of the Coast has done your thinking for you? Do you feel better that Wizards of the Coast has made these changes to make you feel safe and inclusion and accepted? Or do you feel worse? Because, I mean, we know I'm an idiot. Several people have told me so. I mean, you know, Shoner says I'm an idiot. Condor DM says I'm an idiot. Justin Lanasa says I'm an idiot. J. Scott Garibay has said I'm an idiot. So I must be an idiot, right? So we know I'm an idiot. But I think settled is as bad as civilized. And I think being told I don't just want to learn new things is not anywhere safe, you know, better than being called dim-witted. Yeah. Or monstrous is better than being called savage, ruthless, vile. Better than just being called, yeah, you're not evil, you just had a bad day. Hannibal Lecter, he's not evil, he's just kooky and chaotic. The Joker, he's not evil, he's just kooky. Right? You feel better, right? You all feel better. That's it for today. I'm the OGGM. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about this ever again, too bad. I have a feeling it's going to come up again. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year, and we'll do something crazy. Oh, I do. Haven't you been watching my my show long enough to know that I do wear the things people say about me as badges of honor? You know, when J. Scott Garrity started calling me the West Coast Grognard as a way to insult me, I copyrighted the term and had merch made on it that said West Coast Grognard. So now whenever Scott Garrity uses the term West Coast Grognard, I could go after him and say, no, I copyrighted that word, dude. That's mine. I mean, I wouldn't win, but yeah. And when every time Condor DM called me an idiot or Shoner called me an idiot, I was like, thank you. Thank you for the free press, you fucking mark. That's it for today. Stay safe. I'll talk to you all later. Happy holidays.